Hi everybody, I'm Dani, Rabin, guitarist from Rabin, and this is a lesson about the major scale. So, learning scales on the guitar. When we look at the frets and we kind of go through them in a serial matter, we get the chromatic scale. Now, when we're learning scales, we're trying to impose a mental template. What do I mean by that? We're turning the guitar into a diatonic instrument like a harmonica or something. You know, you blow into it, you blow out of it, and it all sounds within a key. It's not like it sounds great if you don't know how to play it, but the same thing goes to, knowing the major scale on the guitar. But what we want to do is be able to play the major scale everywhere and know where the notes are. So the C major scale, we're going to do all the examples in C to make it simplified. So if I go through the C major scale, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, so really what I'm trying to do is map out all these notes to where when I'm choosing notes all over the guitar, I'm not choosing any of the flatted or sharp notes, I'm just choosing the notes of C major. So an example would be, starting here, would be so I just want to be able to travel the instrument and do that. Now, a quick thing I do want to explain is that improvising is not choosing notes. Choosing notes is a part of improvising, but choosing notes in itself is not so artistic. It's more like a skill. What you really want to do is be able to choose the notes within a framework, within a template you've decided, and then be able to switch that template in time when the time comes. Meaning, when it's time to play a C major scale over something, be able to see all the notes all over the instruments of C major. And then when it's time to switch to, let's say, A melodic minor or G major, you're able to switch in your mind and all of a sudden see all these dots light up of all the available notes all over the guitar. The first good starting point would be to learn the C major scale on each string, starting with the low string. So if I play it on the low string, it's E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And if I keep going, so I kind of covered the whole guitar string by string doing that. The next logical step would be to take every note on the E string and on the low E string, and then play a 2-octave scale from the low E to the high E. It's on the same fret. That's a 2-octave kind of thing. So if I'm starting on F, I could start on E, but let's start on F because it's a fretted note, and that way the patterns remain the same for all the scales. So I can just play a 2-octave thing. If I'm doing it from G to G, A to A, B to B, C to C, D to D, and E to E. So that's kind of something that you have to work through all over the guitar in every key just to be able to do that. That takes a while too. But that's just playing the scale across and then up and down on every string. Now, most fusion and jazz players play on this kind of diagonal on the guitar. You see them travel like from this area to that area. A good thing to do is to use the symmetry of the guitar. So basically, if you play your any phrase in the key of C, choosing notes from the key of C. On two strings, let's say F, G, B, C. Okay? Just for an example. Then you can play that in 2 octaves just by taking this phrase and then moving it up an octave on the next set of strings and on the next set of strings. So you can have these 3 octave phrases. So here's one. So that was just F, G, B, C. Then again. You can do that. You can keep going up the scale and shoot it up 3 octaves, meaning like use it like a pattern. So one would be. That's a really useful thing to do. A lot of time when I'm playing lines, I play this line all the time. That's just B, A, F, E in 3 octaves. And people like that big motion. It's kind of like pianistic. Saxophones can't do that. They only have 2.5 octaves. But as guitar players, we can make these lines happen. You can do things with different contours within the phrase, like maybe a 5-note thing, like F, G, B, and then D, C. That's just a 5-note pattern with this contour. And then I just play it in 3 octaves. Octave 1, octave 2, octave 3. I can do that, and all I'm doing now is diatonically moving it to the next scale degree. So starting on G, and that's just kind of an issue of control. Once you know where the notes are, you have that template of C. You're not going outside of C. Now, I'm going to make a separate lesson about mixing chromatic things with the major scale. But right now, we're not worried about that. We're just trying to play the major scale for what it is. And we're trying to move patterns. Another great thing to do is just sticking, on, let's say, 2 strings or 3 strings. But let's start with 2 strings and take one pattern and then move it up scale-wise. That's a really great way to study the neck. So let's take just to start, like D, E, G, A. And now I'm gonna just take it and move it in seconds up within the major scale. So here's the pattern. Here's another pattern. Another one could be like, let's say, like in thirds, That's another thing. People always say practice your scales, but practice your arpeggios. To me, that's all the same thing. All I want to do is have the ability to play a scale and choose whatever intervals I'm moving at. So let's say I want to play it in thirds. That is playing arpeggios. So starting on B, that would be like... or... So really, all I really did was just play the C major scale in thirds, starting on B. So the first one would be like B, D, F, A, and then I just take that and move it up. And then eventually, you can choose your own intervals. A lot of what people play, especially in jazz, is seconds and thirds. But occasionally you'll play a fourth. You'll play a lot of 6 and then change directions, like or 6 and go back and then play a scale step and then another 6, like. So these are really useful kind of things. So But this whole thing of moving patterns is super significant, super helpful. Like you can do. And that will really help you free up, your playing. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it.